What's up guys, today we're going to be teaching you how to backflip. I've had a few people come up to me and ask, how did you learn how to backflip, how did you do all that? And I found that the tutorials on YouTube at the moment are very average, a lot of them. So I'm going to try to cover everything. I'm going to try to cover how you can prepare for the backflip, how you can get all your skills down, approaching the backflip, getting over your fear, and all the different ways you can learn safely. So let's get into that. I've seen a lot of articles out there that say you don't have to be too fit to do it, you have to be very fit, okay? So I'm 6'4" and it took me a long time to learn how to do it because I'm so tall, but you need to be fit, you need to have an able body to be able to do this. That's the first thing you need. The second thing you need is confidence. You cannot back out of a backflip when you first try it. You can't stop and freeze halfway because that's how people get hurt. It's some sort of reflex. But what happens is people freeze in midair and that's how they hurt themselves. If you want to learn it, you can learn it. It is able to be learned by almost anybody. You just need to get yourself into a level of fitness where you're able to, pull your legs over. Ways you can train for doing the backflip, you got to, adapt your body first, so then you know how to actually use those muscles and use them properly. First thing I'd recommend is lying down on the ground and bringing your knees into your chest with your arms above your heads. The next thing is, once you get that, you got to get your jumps up nice and high. So you're going to do jumps straight up in the air and bring your knees into your chest like this, like that. So once you're doing that, getting them nice and high into your chest, that's going to simulate the tuck as well. Then the only thing that's going to pull you over is when you're bringing your arms down and your knees over your head. That's going to actually make you start spinning faster and pull you over. So things you need are a really tight, fast tuck, a high, straight up into the air jump, and that's pretty much it, guys. If you can do that, that's how you backflip. So let's get into ways you can train to do the backflip. So the first thing you want to do is you want to train your legs, so then you get a nice high jump. So you're going to do some leg ups, box jumps, and you're going to be training to get that vertical jump nice and high in the air. When you're jumping, always throwing your arms right to your ears above your head. So like that. Next thing is, we're going to get onto the ground. We're going to have our arms straight up above our head. Pull the tuck in, down, roll across, tuck, down, across. So we're going to do those things a few times, and then we can start to learn how to go over our head. So again, another way you can do that on the ground is just by rolling back over your head, down, and bring your knees over your head. That gives you the feeling of going over and what it's going to feel like to go over. The faster you can do that, the better, because it means you're using your abs to bring yourself in and over. If you can already backflip on the trampoline, that's great. You already know how it feels to go over. You don't have to know how to backflip on a trampoline to learn this, but I recommend you do because it's much safer. You get more height, more time to get over. But a lot of you guys are struggling to pull your legs over your head fast enough and land onto your feet rather than just your knees like I was at the very start. And that's simply because, one, lack of confidence. You need to be really confident when you're doing this. So number one thing I could suggest is probably go to a gymnastics place near you. I know I had one that cost me like $10 for an hour, and I had a proper instructor teach me how to, he spotted me and he had me go over my head, so I felt extremely confident when I was doing the flip. The next thing you can do to get confident with going over your head and landing on the ground is going over to a set of swings, doing a backflip off the front of the swing. So we'll show you that now. You always want to make sure you have a friend there to make sure you're okay whenever you're doing this kind of stuff, right? So let's go over. One good drill is if you have a set of swings and you want to know how it feels to land on the ground, especially if there's tan bark under the swing, which this one doesn't have, but you can actually swing up and then go over your head to get the feeling and bring your legs through the chains. So all you want to do is be holding onto this chain, preferably one of the ones with the rubber guards on them so you don't burn your hands, which I'm probably about to do. But yeah, you want to be able to pull your legs over your head on the swing, and that'll give you the feeling of how it feels to do a backflip. If you do that a few times, you can learn how it feels to do a backflip, and then when you go to do the flip, you'll be more confident. Alright guys, another really awesome thing you can do is have a friend come along with you who wants to also learn the backflip, and they can help spot you and you can help spot them. If you don't have someone who wants to learn how to backflip, just get somebody who's comfortable and you trust to get you over the flip. It would be better to get an instructor who knows definitely how to do these things, but if you don't have access to a gym or a trampoline or anything like that, you can get a friend to help spot you over the flip. This is my brother Daniel, by the way, if you guys are new to the channel. But there's two different ways of spotting. One is two-handed and one is one-handed. He's gonna spot me one-handed because I already know how to do the flip. But when you're starting, you wanna spot two-handed because one will go under the legs right here, and then the other one will go on your back. So then you'll flip the legs and keep the back supported throughout the whole flip, and make sure they land at least on their knees. This will definitely help improve your confidence, and once you're getting over, you'll be throwing it harder and probably landing it pretty soon. So Daniel's just gonna get his hand and his right hand and spot over. He did barely anything because I already know how to do it, but flipping off ledges like this is an okay way to start. You're just gonna make sure that you're looking ahead of you when you jump, because when you go to do it flat, you wanna be getting as much height as possible. Okay guys, another tip. When you guys, I know a lot of people get worried with fear of doing a backflip. All I can say is that when you want to learn it that badly, and you know you're going to learn it, I was like so adamant on learning it. There was no way I was going to walk away without at least trying to learn how to backflip. You got to remember, getting over the fear is the hardest part, like getting onto flat ground. Again, spotters, music to pump yourself up, or everything you want to do, it's all good. But you have to remember in your head that if you don't try to do it, if you're going to throw the flip, you have to fully commit yourself. Because if you do not fully commit yourself, you will hurt yourself, I promise you that. You have to fully commit yourself to the flip, or just don't do it at all. Because if you only half commit, you'll land on your head and hurt yourself. So you want to fully throw everything as hard as you can all at once, and you should be able to do it. So I'm doing it off a little ledge onto soft sand, which is optimal. If you guys live near a beach, do that if you can't get to a gym. And if you can't access any sort of sand or ledges, then grass and tan bark is probably next best. But for sure, you want to be making sure when you're flipping off an edge, you're being careful that you're keeping your eyes straight ahead of you and your body in a straight up position. Because if you're not, and you're going too far back, when you go to do the flat ground flip, you'll be going backwards instead of up, and that's not going to help you. You want to get as much height as possible. I can't stress that enough. So I'm going to show you how I do my flat ground flip, and you guys can see instead of going backwards, I'm going to be going straight up into the air, keeping my head pointed forward, and then tucking it all in as fast as I can. Also adding something that is called a rodeo tuck, which is when you pull your knees out to the side, and that actually just helps you get more spin. Because I'm so tall, I need to be able to rodeo tuck. Some of you guys might have to, some of you guys probably won't. If you're shorter, it'll come more easily for you. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it.
That's that, dude.
So as you can see, my flat ground flip isn't that great because I'm so tall. It's hard to get it over. I'm sure there's tall people who can flip. Again, 6'4" guys, so I'm trying really hard to get that all the way over. So I personally prefer flipping off ledges and something with a little more height, like the pier over there. I'll show you a clip. And it's just a lot more fun to be able to have time and land it, and then you can do layouts and X-outs and different types of backflips and really add to your trick list. So yeah guys, I hope these tips really helped. Go out there, get a friend, go to a gym, just really get some training down. Go up to some chin-up bars and do some pull-ups and chin-ups, and just really increase your, if you don't have a gym, go to a park and just do something, because it really increases your strength, and more strength equals more power to do the backflip. So seriously, that's all it really comes down to. I wasn't being able to get it over, and then I went to a gym and trained for a week. And after that whole week of just a few hours a day, non-stop grinding, I was able to pull it over. So I hope that helps for you. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.